Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Merlin here, hope you're well. Yes, we are looking at a map on a Robin Hood Sherwood Builders, as in the description of the video. This video is going to be about how to obtain 100% reputation in the Barnsdale region, one of four. You've got Barnsdale, Sherwood Forest, Peak District and Midlands. I've managed to do Barnsdale and Sherwood Forest so far, with the other two in kind of like situ. I've kind of stopped playing for the time being, on concentrating on other games, but I will obviously have to get them done as well. But this video is purely about Barnsdale, and I'll do a separate video about Sherwood Forest. The majority of the percentage gains are from side quests, and I'll come to that in a moment. But to begin with, I'm going to go through the smaller bits and pieces that you will pick up. So, for example, when you start out, you will notice as you go around the map there are camps. That's the first port of call. So you've got two Sons of Adam's camps. You've got one in the northwest there, and one just south of the village. You've also got a waved camp here, right at the bottom of the region. Okay, and then you'll have four soldiers' camps. So two across to the east, so one there and one there. And remember the orange road, as I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. And on the west of the side, or northwest side of the region, you've got two more. Again with the orange road. So they all kind of give it like 1 to 1.5%, sometimes maybe 2. I think as in the Sherwood Forest they do give out 2. The orange roads are the convoys, which you'll need to stop. So you need them as well. And again, they're either a 1 or 1.5%. So again, if you're at a point where you're at 98% or something like that and you're not certain, these are the things that you need to be looking out for to see whether to complete. On top of the camps, you then got warehouses, and there are 4 of them. There is one there, which is just kind of slightly east of those two soldiers' camps and west of the village. You've got another one just slightly south of those two soldiers' camps. And you have another one, which is, this I believe is New Milladam. Yep, there it is, New Milladam. And the fourth one is over to here, again to the east, which is just below the soldiers' camps. They all seem to be kind of like close to other camps. So again, when you're doing these, when you're kind of attacking these, I kind of stay away, come in at angles where you will avoid, because if you get stuck in the middle here, you will then get soldiers from both sides. It's better to come in at angles where you know you can avoid everything else. And also with these orange roads, if you're attacking a camp on the orange road, there's a possibility you'll get a convoy as well, so you'll have soldiers with that as well. So how do you know that you've done them all? Okay, so on each of the camps and the warehouses, you will see a green flag. Green flag signifies that you've gained the reputation, you don't need to go back. The red flag signifies that there are enemies in the camp. Now, once you've dealt with it first time out, so like here, there's no enemies there at the moment. They may return, so they always return, but at the moment there's no enemies left in there. And the same will happen with the camps. Once you've dealt with it first time out, the red flag will disappear, and then it will reappear at a later date. So those are your small parts. The other elements as well are the tax collectors, which are the yellows. So you got one there, and you've got a short one down here. Now, basically, again, you've got to make sure you just get rid of the tax collector. Obviously, the soldiers that are accompanying him, you need to get rid of him as well. And that, again, gives you a very small percentage. So these are the small things that if you're not certain what you've done so far, have you missed out on any of these? What I will say with this small road is that you may have to wait or you may have to come back because it is only a short road from the bridge up to the town. They're not always around, so you might have to kind of like either go in the town and come back out for them to come over. Generally, they'll come over from the bridge for that purpose. And that pretty much is where the smaller elements of this kind of reputation task is kind of gets you forward. Let's move on to the tasks themselves. Now, the main task, you will know that when you start the game, you see Friar Tuck. And he'll give you like 7 individual tasks, which will kind of the main quest line for Barnsdale. Now, I think initially you get a very small percentage from him once you're completing them. But I think after about the second or third one, there is no other else from him. So you'll know that once you've done all 7 of his, then there's nothing more you need to worry about as far as percentage from him. So that takes us very nicely over to the side quests, and they'll also combine that with the executions because there are 4 executions that you have to prevent. Now, those executions are signified by a cross. Now, if I go across to some of the other regions, so here, this is a cross here. That is a kind of an execution that's due to take place. It's a time thing. So as soon as it starts, you have very limited time. And it could be shooting the rope, or it could be killing off the executioner that's just about to put an axe through the convict, or this deemed convict. So the 4 of them that are in here, there is one in New Milladam, which is literally down. So this is New Milladam here, and it's around about here, just before you get to the bridge, because part of one of the quests is going into this area here, which I'll come to shortly. So that's one of them. You've got one south of the Golden Sands Quarry, which is this one, the Sandstone Quarry. It's around about this sort of area, somewhere close to here, near the river. You've got one in Wentridge, sorry, Wentbridge even, not Wentridge, Wentbridge, literally. So as you're coming in, again for another quest line, just across the I think if you come in this direction, just across the bridge here, there is someone that's just about to be hung. So again, basically there. And the 4th one is not far away from the Red Rock. So somewhere up around this area in the northeast, rather. So northeast of Red Rock copper mine. So it's around this sort of area here. Now, again, these are small percentages, but they can also be linked to the main side tasks as well. So it's a possibility that when you come across them, you're doing a side quest and that comes up. But just to make you aware, once you've got rid of those executions, those crosses I've shown you will disappear. The last thing I want to kind of cover before I go into the side quests is the interesting locations that come up. There are 2 of them. So you've got one here and you've got one here. Okay, see, this one says an interesting location. This one doesn't now, but it did before. But I've been there, so there's a reason. And again, they can be linked to, or will be linked to, side quests. So without further ado, let's get into those side quests themselves. So basically, in the village, in Robin's village itself, you will see Marian and you will see Little John. Marian's request is the first side quest and asks you to build the alchemy. Once you've done that, done. You get a small percentage from that and it's done. It's about 3 or 4%, but you get that. Little John is the second one, and he is asking you to meet him outside the village to deal with a nearby camp, which just happens to be this one, the Sons of Adam camp. So the idea is before you take this camp out, speak to Little John, because it'll form part of that task. And again, it's a small quest on that basis. Now the rest of them are going to go around in clockwise order from the village, just to give you an idea of whereabouts each one will appear. Now, of course, most of these, for those new to the game, most of these will appear as orange kind of people. So top part of a body, orange part of a body with an exclamation mark. But some of them don't have that. There's a couple of hidden ones. So let's start from the beginning then. Okay, so move around to this part of the area here, which is where the dough grounds are, and it's called Search of Cockaigne, spelled Cockaigne. It's a very small camp, and you literally are speaking to someone by the name of Theobald, and you have to do a kind of quest line. I think it's gathering, trying to recover something, or even defend them against local bandits. That's the first one. The next one is Don't Mess with the Mercs, which is around the soldiers' camp and the warehouse. It was around this sort of area in the east of the region. The next one is called John Lackmine, and it's in the silver mine. So I believe the silver mine is here. There we are, the Hider Wolf mine. And this is one of those ones that Tuck will give you at the start when you're going through. He'll say to you about this. So you go through the mine, go into the mine, and you deal with whoever's inside, and there's someone in there you need to kind of rescue, and that takes care of that. And obviously John Lackmine is the person you need to find. You then move across over to the southwest of the region, which is right down the bottom here. And it's somewhere, I believe, around this sort of area. You have No Pain, No Gain. And literally you are escorting someone it's along the river, so it suggests it's probably around this area here. So again, you are kind of escorting someone, protecting them from bandits. You then have one which is a hidden one. Now this doesn't appear as an orange blob, so to speak. You can't see it, and the only way you know it exists is literally in this area here. So what you do is you run around here, or walk around, doesn't matter which way you do it, either way around here. And in this section here, there is a blacksmith, and he'll run out of here and start shouting and bawling and whatever the case may be. And it's called an iron deal, and you just got to get some iron ore to him. Now, ironically, the iron mine is up here, so if you can get there first, then obviously you can deal with that in one hit. The one after that is called Trouble at Ciric's Mill. And that is over this area here. It's signified now as a baker because he is a baker. And again, it's sort of timed because the mill is on fire. So you have to deal with the soldiers that are there, and then that will miraculously stop the mill from burning down. The one after that is Heirloom from Father, which I believe is just outside of... I think it's around this sort of area here. Maybe a bit further this sort of area here. It's open ground. But again, you'll see it and there. That's the next one. The one after that is Family Together. So basically what happens on this one is that you're in this area, and around this sort of, just below this area, there's an orange blob. You meet someone, and they're one of the, felt like a son, I think, has been captured in this interesting location. And again, you've got some bandits here to deal with. Rescue the person, take them back. Following that, you've got 3 that are based in Wentbridge. So literally you come into Wentbridge, and literally you will have 3 different people to speak to. You will have someone by the name of Laurie, who it's called threefold taxed. So you have to get back some silver, which happens to be in this warehouse. So again, don't tackle this warehouse until you've spoken to Laurie, because you can deal 2 with 1. So you go in, get the silver, and also deal with the warehouse at the same time. Unhealthy Companions is another one that Tuck gives you at the start, which means you have to come and see a trader, which I believe is he in here somewhere? I think he's in he's inside here somewhere. I think it might be in the tavern. And he asks you to visit an area. This will lead you to New Milladam. So this is what I was thinking about before. So you'll end up down here. And basically you'll be following a kind of trail, and it'll take you through, and you then have to go through the Henry Ford estate to pick up some items from there. Some stolen items. And the last one in Wentbridge is Feed the Hungry, Find the Lost. And again, this is where a young lad has been lost from the family. He's out somewhere in this sort of area, and you just have to go and find him and take him back to the family. Now there's one more task left to go, and again, this is not with an orange blob. It's called In the Sheriff's Head, and it's in this location here. So as soon as you approach the Royal Scout camp, it'll come up. So you just deal with the camp. This one hasn't got a reputation flag on it, but as soon as you've dealt with it, you know it's done. And that is all your side quests. Now obviously I'll list those side quests in the description as well, so you'll know exactly which ones I'm talking about. One final thing you need to be made aware of to make it right up to 100%. In each of the 4 warehouses, there are stolen goods. And it's the same with each region. So wherever there's a warehouse, there's a stolen good. There'll also be a stolen good in one of the 2 orange convoys. So you'll have 5. Now you don't sell them. If you sell them, you'll never get 100%. You have to take them to this guy. It's a steward that's in Wentbridge. So literally when you get them, just go to the steward, and part of the talk will come out and say, here you go. And one thing I nearly forgot as well, with regard to the executions, at the end of the execution, you'll speak to the freed person, and they will offer you gold. On no account, take the gold at all. Because if you take the gold, you don't get the reputation, which is like 1%. So there you go. That is your 100% on Barnsdale. I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, put them in the comment section. If you want me to go through them again, or answer a question in the comments, then please do. But hopefully that will get you through the 100% in Barnsdale. and then you can move on to the next part. On that note, thank you very much indeed for watching, and look out for the next video with regards to Sherwood Forest. Thank you very much.